Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Avernos. In today's video, we will be talking about sets in Python. We'll talk about what a set is, why you should use them, some characteristics of sets, and we'll give you some very useful functions when dealing with sets. So what is a set? A set is an unordered collection of unique elements. So in a set, you can't have repeating elements. So let's look at this first set. But before we do that, I'll show you how you can declare a set in Python. So you'll have the name of your set, the assignment operator, which is the equal sign, and then you'll have curly brackets or curly braces, and inside of those, you'll have all your elements separated by a comma. So if we were to run this and declare our Avenger set, let's actually take a look at what's inside of it. So you can see what we see here that's actually stored inside of the set is actually different from how we declared our set up here. You can see we start with Scott and Tony, but if you look at the first we have in our set here, you see Loki and Natasha, and that's because sets are unordered. So the order in which you declare your set may not be the order in which it's actually stored. As you can see, this is actually stored in alphabetical order, even though we did not declare it in alphabetical order. You can also see up here we have Scott twice, but if you come down here, we only see Scott once, and that's because a set only contains unique elements. So if you define a set to have the same value recurring multiple times, only one instance of that will actually show up inside of your set. In Python, sets support mathematical set operations, and there's a lot of those. The most popular being union, intersection, and difference. So let's look at the union one. So we can take our Avengers, and we'll call the union method, and then we'll pass villains, which is another set, into those parentheses, so into our union function. And if we run that, then we'll see our Avengers and our villains sets have been combined. But I actually want to point something out to you, because you can see that Loki is in our Avengers set and also in the villain set, but he only shows up once when we do a union. And remember, sets cannot have repeating elements. So even if you do a union on two sets, if any of those sets have repeating elements, well, those particular elements will only show up once in your union. And what union does is it simply combines the two sets. Another way you can do a union is you can use the pipe, which can be read as OR. So we'll do Avengers or villains, which will give us the same result as the union. It is a union. We're just saying anything that's in Avengers or anything that's in villains, give it to all of it. Give it to us. Another popular operation you might want to do on your sets is to see which elements occur in both sets. And for that, you would use the intersection method. So let's do Avengers, the intersection, and villains, so we can see who is both in our Avengers and in our villains sets. And I spelled Avengers wrong, so let's run that again. And we can see that Loki and Wanda are both Avengers and villains. They appear in both sets. Another way you can do the intersection is you can use the ampersand. So we can say if they're in Avengers and they're also in villains, and then if we were to run that, we would get the same result. There's a lot of other useful functions you can use with sets, and I'll just run through some of those now. The first one is you can add. So if you would like to add an element to your set, you can call this add method and do that. So let's say we want to add Iron Man, and then if we look at Avengers, we'll see Iron Man appears in our set. Another useful function is to clear. So if you would like to essentially turn your set into an empty set, you would call the clear function. Another useful function is difference. So if you want to see the difference between two sets, so for example, let's look at all the Avengers that are not in our villain set, we can run that and it will give us a list of all the Avengers that are not in our villain set. And so if we were to swap this and we look at all the villains that are not in our Avengers set, then it gives us a different response. Another way you can do this same operation is to simply do villains minus Avengers, and you'll get the same result. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to Avernos. We have a lot of great content on our channel about physical computing using Raspberry Pis. cloud computing using Amazon Web Services, Python programming, data analytics, machine learning, and so much more. And we have a lot of great content planned for the future. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss the upload. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.